If you are part of the Badass Business Builders, you may have already heard of this before, but this is something that I wanted to share with you guys. This is something that we're extremely excited about, and I'm just going to talk for a little bit because I know that there are other people who will probably be jumping on onto the call. So this is not a call, the Facebook Live. So I wanted to give you some more data on this new way to make money on Amazon. This is something that we're going to be incorporating into our business and something we're extremely excited about for the new year. We see it as it's not just a way to get started on Amazon, which it very much is. So if you don't have an Amazon business, this is one of the ways that you can get started on. And I actually see this as a launching point for if you have been having trouble raising the money to start with private label, Amazon private label. This could be a smaller entry point into doing that. The cost and the risk is a little bit less. Now the overall benefit isn't as high in that you're not building your own company with this, but the cash flow is very high and the risk is a lot lower. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what that is and kind of reveal to you what we discovered in Costa Rica actually last year. So we were in Costa Rica last year, I believe it was September or so, for a mastermind, and this was a mastermind where you had to be making at least $1 million in your business every year. And there were a lot of people who were doing this with Amazon, and a lot of people do it through private label, but there were some people who were making millions of dollars a year and were not owners of private label businesses, and this was very intriguing to me. So there are probably 3 or 4 businesses there that were doing something different on Amazon. And you know, I'd heard of retail arbitrage, and that had never appealed to me because with retail arbitrage, you basically need to go to stores and buy stuff on clearance and then box them up and send them. It's a very laborious process, and basically, if you go on vacation, you are not selling anything because you are not going to the stores and picking up the stuff and buying it and boxing it. So retail arbitrage had never been something very interesting. It's something that people should explore if they really don't have any money whatsoever. But we'd always been, we'd always known about private labels. So I was, intrigued. I wanted to find out, what are you guys actually doing? So I had breakfast one morning with this guy named Dylan Frost, and Dylan has been an Amazon seller for some time, and he actually has created a system for what's called wholesaling. So I was very interested in this. He basically can do exactly what we do in that he has time freedom, he has, financial freedom, he has the freedom of location where he can basically work from anywhere, yet he doesn't have a private label business. So I asked him to tell me more about this, and he said it's called wholesaling, and what you basically do is you get onto you kind of contact, you look for specific companies, and these are companies that are big companies that you've heard of that are very big in retail. So these are guys who are doing $30 million a year or more, big guys. When I think of big guys, I think of companies like KitchenAid, or companies like Apple, big companies. And you might notice, especially if you've been in the Amazon space for a while, that a lot of big companies just really suck at Amazon. That is part of the reason why private label works so well, is because a lot of these big companies, their business model is not selling on Amazon. So they don't put a lot of resources and a lot of attention on Amazon, and they're really missing out on a lot of big sales. So that's where wholesaling comes in, and where you come in, and you actually are able to leverage these brand names and go in and you talk to these companies and you say, hey, you know what, this is what I do for a living, I would like to work with your company, and we have seen an increase in sales on the Amazon platform between 30 and 40%, and I could almost guarantee that we'll be able to get you 30 or 40% increase in your sales on Amazon, and I'm going to help you to do that. Now, I'm not even going to ask you to pay me to do that. In fact, I'm going to pay you for the right to let me do that. And so you work with these sellers, and you're basically, you know, buying their product and you're selling it, but you're getting special permission from them, and you're working with them to sell their products, and you make the spread. So you buy their product for wholesale and you make the difference in the money that you make, but you're leveraging these brands. And this is why I say, you know, it's something that you don't have to source products, because they will sell you the products directly. You don't have to source products, and you don't have to rank them or launch them. You don't have to build a brand name. This is a brand name that already exists. So what you are doing is simply helping them to not suck as much on Amazon. So that's something that's really exciting to us for a couple of reasons. One of the reasons is that it's kind of a smaller barrier to entry. You know, you don't have to spend nearly as much money on getting into a wholesale business as you do to a private label business. You know, so what money you have, you can invest, you know, a smaller amount, because you're not getting like 1,000 units. You're not getting, you know, a huge order with Amazon, with a Chinese supplier. You're getting it directly from them, and you know, maybe you only can afford at this time, you know, a couple hundred units. Well, that's fine. You know, you sell a couple hundred units. You know, these units are going to sell. It's not something where, you know, you have the risk involved of it not selling. So how does this fit into what we're doing with private label? Because ultimately my feeling is, with private label, you really need to build a private label business. So I feel this is a launching pad. So anyone who's doing private label, this is not, you know, an idea to dissuade you from doing private label. And anyone who is interested in looking at wholesaling, I would say that the end result of your kind of trip through the Amazon jungle is to get to private label. Because the thing that you can do with private label that you can't do with wholesaling is you can build your own company and sell it for millions of dollars. I had a friend last year, a husband and wife couple, who built a supplements company for, you know, over the course of a few years, and ended up selling it for, I think, $16 million. So that is why private label, because you have a company that you can then turn around and sell for millions of dollars. That is why private label is the end game. But this is something that can help you to boost your private label business and grow it more quickly. Because part of the issue that a lot of private label sellers do have is the fact that they're basically sometimes it takes a while. The whole process of designing and sourcing and launching a product takes a while. So it could take a couple of months, you know, 2, 3, you know, 4 months even. I've had friends who, you know, they went to China and 6 months later they were launching some products. So it can take several months going back and forth to launch these products. Meanwhile, you've got money sitting in your bank account that could be making you money. So it's a way to augment what you're doing with your private label business by way of making that cash work for you more quickly. So you can grow up a cash flow base with wholesale while you're wholesaling and you're private labeling, and you can do that in such a way that you can actually have it benefit your private label business. So first, right off the bat, the way that I think about it is I've got a couple of companies that I love for kitchen tools. I'm in the kitchen tool space. I've got a couple of companies that I love in the kitchen space, but I will never sell products like that. KitchenAid, I'm never going to sell KitchenAid mixers. I'm just not going to do it. Vitamix is a great tool that I use nearly every day, and I'm not going to sell those, but I love the product. So this would be a way where I could reach out to some of those companies that my audience already loves, and I could make money by selling those products. And then all of a sudden I've got an audience that I already have built with my private label business. I've got, you know, thousands of people on my list of private label that I can start advertising these products to, and I can make a really decent spread on the money, because I'm working with the company to make not just, you know, the pittance that Amazon pays me for commission for promoting the product, but I'm actually making a cut because I've invested in these products and I'm wholesaling these products. So that's why I've kind of, you know, started talking to you guys about about the idea of adding, wholesale into your business. I think that it's a big, it cuts down the risk because it adds, if you've got one product that you're having trouble with, you still have that cash flow coming in. So the way that we feel is moving forward, we can not only, expand our cash flow, but we can also take more risk because we have more income coming in through wholesale. We've got more income coming in through wholesale, and then we're able to put more money into these new products, take more risks, do better, bigger giveaways, do bigger blasts, and really help to launch our business because we're adding that much, besides just the products that you could be investing in with the additional cash flow. One of the things that we're focusing on this year is hiring staff and building systems. That's huge for us. Every day I'm now working on systems. So what if you were making an extra, couple $1,000s a month doing wholesaling? You could hire the person that's going to replace you on the parts of the business that you just hate. That's huge, and then you're able to do more of the things that actually generate more money. The things that you can do when you add, a couple $1,000s, or, even, we're not even talking about, I'm talking very minimally in terms of the money that you could make on here. There are people who are doing with their wholesale business what we are doing with our private label business. Now, that's not something that they're going to be able to sell down the road, but that's still cash flow. That's still lifestyle. That's still money in your pocket. That's still, the investment in future businesses and future investments. So don't think that this is just, $5,000 extra a month would be nice. That is totally, something that would be a first goal. But you can really make a huge amount of money, which means, the things that you could do for your business and for your lifestyle are completely huge. And Dylan is the guy that we met in Costa Rica, and I'm working with his team to get some information out to you guys. And so if you want to keep getting information about this, I'm going to be continuing to share information about what the whole world is with wholesale. And because we have a personal relationship, we're going to try to set up a call with Dylan or with one of the guys on his team to explain and to ask questions, so that we can get some of the ins and outs answered on how exactly this rolls out and how you would build a business on wholesale. And again, part of the reason that we're bringing this, hey Devin, part of the reason that we're bringing this, he said, okay, here's a question. Let me just finish. Part of the reason that we're bringing this is because there are some people who have not been able to start a private label business because they haven't been able to afford the initial investment into that business. And we often say, we started our business with $8,000. And so we often say, it's good to have $8,000 to $10,000 to really get a business started. So this is a way to kind of leapfrog into a private label business. And we really wanted this year to solve that problem for some of the people that have been wanting to get into Amazon but really haven't been able to. I know several people who have kind of not been able to pull the capital together, and this is one of the things. So one of the things we're focusing is on how do we solve the problem for everyone. So it's not just, you can't buy ASM, better luck next time. We'll see you next month, next time the course comes out, and hopefully you'll have the money this time. We wanted to find solutions because we want you all, everyone who, wants to be, running their own business should be running their own business, and that's why we're trying to find solutions to make that happen. Okay, Devin has a question. What gives the best edge in being successful at wholesaling? Is it having a big email list? I have a nice niche industry with thousands of customers, but only, shoot, let me see how I see the rest of that comment. I don't see the rest of this. I'm not sure why that is. Okay, so in terms of having a wholesaling business, yes, of course, an email list would be nice, but my sense, and this is something that we're just starting out with, and this is a question that can of course be even better answered by Dylan or one of his guys, which is why we're going to be arranging that call. But in being on Amazon for as long as we have, yes, an email list is nice, especially if it I wouldn't send it out to, if the product that you're selling clashes with the list that you have, I wouldn't, at all recommend, sharing that with a customer list that is not in that industry, which is why I say, our tactic is going to be going after going after companies that are conducive to the list that we already have. So I feel that if you've got a list, you definitely could benefit. But I don't think it's necessary. Basically, Amazon is Amazon, and the way that we started on Amazon, we found success really quickly without actually, doing any of that. We didn't have a list, we didn't, so you're able to find success. So basically the same kind of tactics that you would use in launching a private label business, you would be able to benefit from using in a wholesaling business. You know how to launch, you know how to rank, it's just as if you're one of the main sellers on that listing. So you don't necessarily own the listing, but you're one of the main sellers on that listing, and you can, likely do a lot of the same things, ranking the product, doing giveaways, all of those things that they don't know how to do that you already know how to do if you're selling on Amazon would be of huge benefit to you, which is why one of the reasons I wanted to share this with you guys. They'll teach you, you'll be able to learn all of these things with wholesaling, but basically, these are things, you're already smarter. If you're selling on Amazon successfully, you're already smarter than most of these $30 million companies. Let's see. Robert, hi Robert. And that question came from Devin. Hi Devin. And Samo. Awesome guys. So Kuldeep, hi. So I'm gonna just end off. I wanted to, let's see, we use our normal Amazon skills, get reviews, ranking, the list isn't vital. Awesome, yeah, exactly. So you're using your own Amazon skills to do the same thing, which is why I was so excited about this. Most of the guys that most of the guys that Dylan works with, I talked to him, and most of the guys that he works with are people who have not sold on Amazon at all, or who have done, the retail arbitrage stuff where they go to a store and they buy something at a discount and then they sell it on Amazon. So they've not, there are not a lot of people who are already in the Amazon space on private label who are doing this stuff, which is why I was so excited, because it's a huge opportunity for us as seasoned Amazon sellers. It's a huge opportunity. This is something that the rest of our space is not doing. So, when I was telling Devin about this, or I'm getting your names confused, I'm sorry. When I was telling Dylan about this, I was like, this is a huge thing for people. This is a way for us to solve a lot of the problems that we have in the private label space. And, so they're very excited to have us come in, because they know that we're just going to kill it in the space, because we already have a leg up on the rest of the guys who are starting out. So I'm extremely excited. Again, if you are interested in finding out more about this, please sign up for our free membership page. It's badassbusinessbuilders.org, and that is in the link to this video, badassbusinessbuilders.org. Sign up and you'll get more data. And again, we'll work out some time to get the guys to talk to us and answer all of our questions. And I believe they have some free training that they're going to be offering pretty soon, and I'll let you know when that is coming out as well. Awesome. Talk to you soon, guys. Bye.